You're tuned in to Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP.
And we're back here at WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. Temple's getting ready to face Richmond, and let's welcome in the big man for the Temple Owls, number 22, Jake O'Brien. Jake, Zach Gelb, Haley Conzen, how are you?
Good. It's good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on in studio, and I know you're from Massachusetts, and I'm a Patriot fan as well. We were talking about this before break, so I'll bring it up to you. The Patriot game was it was just such a tough one to watch. It must have been tough for you watching it being a Patriot fan as well.
Oh man, they struggled. I was really looking forward to this postseason, and I thought they were playing really well, and they just did not perform in that game. And I was livid after that game, to tell you.
Well, like myself, you grew up seeing 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Brady coming in for Drew Bledsoe after Mo Lewis took out Bledsoe. Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel, McGinnis, all those guys. Do you think this Patriots dynasty is coming to an end? They haven't won a Super Bowl in quite some time.
Yeah, you're right, and it's hard to think about. Each year another year ends, and it's another year Tom Brady's older, so it's hard to think about. I think they got a couple years left in them, so we'll see what kind of magic Bill Belichick and the rest of them have.
Which you never doubt, Bill. Always trust Bill. But real quick here, let's get a Super Bowl prediction out of you. Ravens, 49ers. Who do you like in this one when you look at it?
I got to go Niners.
Yeah, so I think the Niners won a close one, like 23-21, let's say 24-20. But you came over here from BU. You were shooting threes just like you do now for Temple University. I know that you wanted to come over here because you wanted to get in that NCAA tournament. What really stood out to you about Fran Dunphy's program here at Temple University, what they're building with the basketball team?
Well, they got a great program, and they always have. Coach Dunphy's been here for a few years now, and he's continued the success that this program's had. And, you can't deny the fact that I think it's 5 years in a row they've been to the tournament. So, for my situation, I was coming in looking for a place I could play and a place that had a chance for the tournament. And, Temple, I thought, offered both those for me.
Is this team starting to feel that pressure a little bit? You guys had some tough losses as of late, a few more losses. Maybe you get into the NIT instead of the NCAA tournament. Has this team at all started to feel the pressure a little bit? Has there been a little bit more toughness this week in practice by Dunphy?
I don't think we're feeling the pressure so much. I mean, we can't really worry about things like that. That's for everyone else to talk about. But, there's no denying that we do have to play better. We do have to come together as a team. And I think, we have done that in practice. We're starting to play together, starting to play tougher. And I think we do need to do a couple more things to start, gain some momentum heading into the A-10 tournament.
Maybe you could explain this, because I looked at the team, and I've seen you guys go into Madison Square Garden, beat Syracuse, who was a top 5 team in the country at that time, and you guys were looking like then, hey, this Temple team can make a run into the Sweet 16, and I still think you guys have that ability to go out there and play that basketball, especially when you, Khalif, and Anthony really start playing on the court. It's just such a dominating threat. How does this team go out there, beat Syracuse, go into Kansas, outplayed Kansas until the final 3 minutes, play a tough game up against Butler, but then you guys will play a Penn team who's 3-14, and it's a dogfight. Can you explain why this team, they play so well against the good teams, but then the weaker competition teams, it's just like you guys, it's more of a dogfight with those games than it is the tougher teams?
Right, and I think we just got to be more consistent. We can't take any teams for granted. I think we got to respect our opponents. We can play with anyone in the country, and as everyone's seen that, but I think we got to quit taking steps back and respect our opponents and kind of bring our A game every game. And, we have the A-10 it's a brutal schedule, and we're going to have no easy games the rest of the way. So I think we need to keep taking steps forward and keep getting better each day.
A lot of people, I don't think, realized how good this A-10 conference really was. They add Butler, they add VCU. Hey, this is a tough conference to play against, Jake.
Absolutely, yeah. And for me, coming from the America East, it's a brutal conference, and top to bottom, they're very good teams. And now with like you said, Butler and VCU, it makes it that much deeper.
So you look at the Butler game. This team, your team was very inconsistent in the Butler game, and up until that 7 minutes, it looked like that team was finally starting to click in Temple. You guys tied the game. What happened down the stretch in that Butler game where you guys weren't able to pull out the victory?
They just made more plays. I think for us, we got to. Some of those loose balls we need to get to. We need to start taking charges, kind of do the little things that help teams win, that kind of get overlooked in the stat book. I thought Butler made big plays down the stretch. They hit a couple big shots, and they just made more winning plays than us.
Temple Sports Hour, Zach Gelb, Haley Condon here with you, talking to Jake O'Brien of the Temple Owls. And Jake, you come over from BU. How has been that transition coming from BU to Temple? When you look at Coach Chambers to Dunphy, how is those systems compared to each other?
They're definitely different, but for me, it's actually my fourth head coach in college, so I'm kind of used to adjusting to new programs, new situations at this point. But I think it's been a great transition. Coach Dunphy's a great coach, great person, and he's obviously had a great program here. So I'm just, I'm still adjusting. Obviously, it was a quick transition for me, but I think things are coming together for me, and it's fun to be a part of this program. Did
you have any problems initially coming in here to Temple University, like the transition-wise chemistry guys with the team, or did you just really pick up a good relationship? I had a guy like TJ DeLeo who doesn't get all the minutes on the court, but he's really a good team player, and I feel like he'd be a guy that would show you the ropes kind of. I know you're an older guy just like TJ, but I feel like when he came here, he's the guy that knows Temple basketball till its fullest.
Yeah, TJ's a great kid. He was actually my host on my visit, so he was kind of the first guy on the team that I connected with. But with the rest of the guys, they've been great to me, really accepting me. And obviously there's always a transition period, and there was, but I think it was a pretty smooth transition for me, and it helped with the guys on the team kind of taking me in with open arms.
So you have Richmond coming into the Liacouras Center, a building that's been really kind to the Temple Owls as of late. Preview this Richmond game for me. What's some things that stands out to you with this Richmond club?
They're a tough and physical team. They're kind of unique. They play a matchup zone. They run their offense. They run hard, kind of like Butler. They cut hard, they sprint hard, they run hard. They just run their offense really well. So I think it's going to be a good test for us. Coach Mooney at Richmond's a really good coach, so I think we got our work cut out for us.
For you, does it matter if you're starting or if you're playing on the bench? Because we've seen as of late that you've had some starting minutes, and then you've also come off the bench this year, more off the bench than you have started. Does that matter to you, starting to bench? How does that change your game when Coach comes to you and says, hey, you're starting, Jake?
I don't think it necessarily changes it. You always got to be ready for Coach Dunphy to call on you, and that's kind of been my role this year is just be ready when called upon. At BU I started just about all the games, so it was a different situation for me. But I think it's something that I'm embracing here and something I've kind of gotten acclimated to.
Do you feel like, because you look at this team, and we're talking to Jake O'Brien, number 22 for the Temple Owls, lethal three-point shot's been a great story for the Temple Owls this year. You look at this team, and Khalif has been a stud. He's been getting all the PR stuff. Everyone's looking at him saying, hey, this kid's a great player. Same with Anthony Lee. This team's trying to find that third man. Do you feel like you could be that third man, that guy that comes up with 10-plus points a game? Do you feel like you could embrace that role on this club?
Yeah, sure. I mean, not only myself, there's other guys on this team that can easily step up in any game. But I think it's a role I love to take on, and I think I need to continue to play well, continue to play consistent, continue to play it on defense. I got to defend and rebound just like everybody. So, but like I said, we have so many options on this team. Any guy, Scooty, Raleigh, any guy can step up on any given night.
To me, you look at your game, and the most impressive thing is the three-point shot. When did you learn that three-point shot? Because it's really unorthodox when you see a big man sitting there in the corner at the top of the key shooting the threes. When I played basketball in high school, and obviously I wasn't as good as you were, they would always stick me down low in the post, grab rebounds, block shots. But when did you learn that three-point shot?
It's just always been a part of my game. I've always been taller than the rest and playing in the inside, but for whatever reason, I developed that outside shot. And, it's just always been a part of me since, growing up into high school through college now.
Final question before we let you run. How would you grade your defensive game right now, doing that stuff down low that the typical big man does, grabbing rebounds, playing defense up against a big-time player? How would you grade your game right now if you could assess yourself?
Well, there's always room for improvement, and I think for me, my biggest thing is being able to rebound. I think I'm a pretty sound defender, but there's always room for an improvement, and I think I need to do a better job in the glass to help out guys like Anthony when I'm out there. So, but like I said, there's always room for improvement.
I really believe this team's going to get in the tournament. The team I saw play at Madison Square Garden, if this team could find that again, I really believe that this team could go up against a lot of teams in this country. That game against the Syracuse Orangemen was absolutely phenomenal. You had a big first half as well in that game. So I appreciate you coming in studio today. Best of luck tomorrow night in the Liacouras Center. And don't be a stranger to this show. Come in anytime you want.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Jake O'Brien of the Temple Owls. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back after these short messages.